Hey, Dan. Thanks for talking with me about the Heart Sutra, the retreat that's coming up on August 17th and 18th. And I know you've got some questions about it, so fire away.
Okay, well, really excited about this retreat. And in particular, I'm interested in how this retreat can solve our problems that are coming up in our day, like problems of being angry about people having differing political views or being scared about what might be happening in that arena, or having problems at work and being stressed out. How can this retreat help us with those problems?
Yeah, because it seems that the retreat's on something that's very profound. It's called the Heart Sutra. And this is Buddha's teachings on emptiness. It's one of the most seminal, famous sutras that Buddha taught. And it's about the subject of wisdom. And where he says form is empty, emptiness is form, it's very famous. It's been studied millennia by people and put into practice. And they put it into practice because it can solve problems. It's not an abstract pursuit, learning the true nature of things. It's not an abstract pursuit. The whole purpose of increasing our wisdom is to decrease our ignorance, and in particular, an ignorance which is called self-grasping, where we think everything is very real and very solid, very problematical, that our enemies are really our enemies and our friends are really our friends, where we feel everything is fixed and intractable and largely unsolvable. And this is a situation that many people find themselves in at the moment, as they just have a very strong grasping, whether we're grasping at politics or, like you say, work problems, relationship problems. The biggest problem of all is how we're grasping at things as being inherently problematical, intrinsically terrible. And Buddha's teachings on wisdom show that this is not the case, that everything can change through changing our perceptions. And particularly the Heart Sutra, Buddha really went into great depth as to how we could realize the true nature of things, which is that everything exists in a state of flexibility and fluidity. Why? Because everything actually depends entirely upon our mind. So, yeah, as it got a practical application, very much so, and I think that's why these teachings are still around. So, because they always have helped people with their daily problems. But what do you think?
So that brought to mind the question of gaining the experience of freedom from gaining experience of lack of inherent existence or emptiness. And like with that sense of freedom, for example, like something is neither good or bad. Like the situation is neither good or bad. Like when we're grasping at things being so solid, it's usually grasping at it being really bad, like intrinsically bad, and there's nothing that we can do to change that, which then brings up fear and anger and anxiety.
Very true. I agree. So when we say form is empty, when Buddha says form is empty, he means that the things that appear so real to us are not nearly as real as they appear, that they are empty of intrinsic existence. In other words, they do depend upon our mind, they depend upon our perceptions, upon our interpretations, and so on. And so if we change our mind, we change the situation. And one thing that's interesting about the Heart Sutra is that when Venerable Geshe taught this in Portugal in 2013, he was talking about the perfection of wisdom, which is what the Heart Sutra is, one of Buddha's perfection of wisdom sutras. And the perfection of wisdom is actually a combination of two things. It's a mind, the perfection of wisdom. It's a state of mind, and it's a combination of two things. Compassion, or the supreme good heart, bodhicitta, and wisdom. So one way, because things do depend on how we're looking at them, things do depend upon how we are relating to them, how we're perceiving them. Like you said, a lot of anger comes up, a lot of hatred, a lot of upset, a lot of disappointment, because we're holding on to things in such a fixed way. When we understand that things are not fixed, that by changing our perceptions, we can actually change the world, change our reality, then we start to think what would be the best mental attitude to bring to politics, the best mental attitude to bring to work, to relationships. Is it anger? No. Is it fear? No. Is it anxiety? Is it feeling overwhelmed? None of these things work, right? They don't work in politics. They don't work in any area of our life. So what does work? Buddha would say that if we develop a mind of love and compassion and actually care about problems, people's problems, and we want them to be free from those problems, and we cherish others like we put others first, this itself can solve so many of our daily problems. But if you put that compassionate motivation together with wisdom, then you have like a compelling combination. Two minds like rolled into one. The perfection of wisdom that we learn about in the Heart Sutra is the mind of, as I say, great compassion, supreme good heart, mixed with this deep wisdom, understanding the true nature of things. So it literally can solve all our daily problems and indeed all our life problems.
So I know another thing that a lot of people have come up is focusing on feeling that we're not good enough, or criticizing ourselves, and maybe focusing anger towards ourselves. How could this retreat help with those kinds
like
of
self-criticism and not feeling good enough? And one thing we understand straight away with Buddha's teachings is that all of us possess an extraordinary capacity and potential for goodness and for wisdom and for compassion. It's all in there. We have what's called Buddha nature. That our actual nature is very pure, it's very good, it's very kind, and that it is our ignorance and our anger and our other delusions that create these mental images of ourselves. We do it to others. We don't like other people, but we also manage to do it to ourselves as well. Create versions of ourselves out of ignorance and dislike and anger that we then relate to as being the real me. The thing about Buddha's wisdom teachings is that he explains there is no real me. There is no real me. At the end of the day, who we are depends on our thoughts, depends on who we think we are. And we can learn to change that through Buddha's Dharma teachings in general and through his wisdom and compassion teachings in particular. So one thing that caught my attention was listening to Venerable Geshe-la's teaching in Portugal the other day, listening to it again. And he said how all the Buddhas of the 10 directions they've given up just thinking about themselves. They've given up self-cherishing, and they moved their object of cherishing to all living beings. So they've switched their object of cherishing from thinking me, me, me all day long to thinking about others. And as a result, they now enjoy the bliss, freedom, and light. Whereas we, who are very wrapped up in strong sets of ego, strong sets of self, me, 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 and I'm important, more important than others, we just end up suffering every day. And Geshe kind of starts his teachings on the Heart Sutra with that, to help us to develop a mind that cherishes others, help us develop compassion, and then the supreme good heart, which is thinking I've got to fulfill that potential that I have and actually attain a state of enlightenment so that I can help everybody. So that's the ultimate goal. First goal is just get through your election year. The ultimate goal is let's take this as far as we can, right? Let's go all the way to enlightenment. Why not?
Right.
Yeah. So I think the retreat is going to be, I think it's going to be an amazing weekend. It's here. It's an urban retreat. So we're having it here in this beautiful urban temple, city temple in Denver, which means that it's very easy to get to. You don't have to travel very far, and it won't take very long to get here. Well, provided you come from Denver or the surrounding areas. And it's a beautiful, quiet, peaceful spot. I think, urban retreats. What do you reckon, Dylan? What's an advantage of an urban retreat as opposed to like we often do? We just go out into the mountains. We meditate out there.
Well, I think it's definitely closer, and we have this amazing temple, this beautiful meditation space, and it's really close.
Yeah,
it's such a beautiful space, and it's very quiet, easy to meditate.
Yeah, I mean, talking of which, I think one benefit of doing a retreat like close to home is, well, traveling and all that kind of stuff, but also you're going to meet a lot of other people from the same area here who are interested in meditation. I think we're already trying hard at the center to provide a sense of community, a place where people can really enjoy, I was going to say networking, but kind of like networking in some levels, just meeting people who've got similar interests, who are interested in meditation, who are interested in wisdom, who are interested in increasing their compassion and their love. On a retreat like this, we have the chance we do the sessions, we do the meditations and the talks and the discussions, but we also have a lot of time just to hang out with each other. And I think that's over a 2-day retreat, which this is, Saturday and then half Sunday, we get a lot of opportunity. It's fun. It's just tremendous fun to be able to spend some quality time with our community like this. So, can you think of anything else that people might want to know?
Well, this topic can seem maybe inaccessible at times to some people.
Well, why do you say that?
Well, maybe if we feel like we don't understand the topic.
It's a bit too deep for us, or subtle or something.
Right, because it is incredibly deep.
It is very deep. Buddha's basically saying all the things we normally see don't exist, at least not in the way we think they do. Everything's like a dream. In order to completely pull the rug out from under our ignorance, grasping at everything as being solid and real, problematical, as we were saying. So there's, it's profound, but the beauty of it is that the way Venerable Geshe-la explains these teachings is so clear and so practical and so accessible. It's kind of like one of his great good qualities is his ability to explain Buddha's wisdom teachings in a way that is easy to understand. It's clear. It takes some effort. Of course, we have to put effort into this. It's very meaningful. But I think there isn't anyone who won't get some insights from this retreat. I'd be amazed, put it that way, if anyone came to the retreat and didn't go away with some insights into the nature of reality that they could use and find helpful. So my plan is to use Venerable Geshe-la's teachings from Portugal. In his last teachings he gave live in 2013. And also in the summer festival this year, the Genla Dekyong Genla Jampa are going to be giving commentary to those teachings as well. And I'm going to definitely be drawing from their wonderful commentary as well. So I'm really personally looking forward to bringing all that together and sharing it with you. So I really hope you're able to come to this beautiful retreat. The Heart Sutra, Teachings of the Retreat, Saturday and Sunday, August 17th and 18th, 2024. And the address is here. It'll be in the little box below this video, no doubt. And everyone's welcome to this retreat, everybody. You don't have to be a Buddhist. You don't have to be a paid-up member of the center. In fact, you don't even have to ever been here before in your life. We welcome everyone. We want everyone to come and enjoy this weekend It'll be very fun and very accessible. And so please come along to the retreat. Do you want the last word, Dylan?
No, I don't think so.
You didn't want the last word, so that's it. We look forward to seeing you.